I'm Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilts, and today I would like to introduce you to my latest product, the Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut Shapes. Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut Shapes are designed to make fussy cutting easy. Each shape has a 1/4-inch gray edge to define the seam allowance. This enables you to focus on the interior space of the shape and know exactly what will appear in the finished shape. Most shapes have centered crosshairs to help you with positioning an image within the shape. Each shape also has blunted points for easy piecing alignment. Downloadable PDF instructions are available now. The link to access them is in the video description below. Let's learn more about the 60-degree triangle. The triangle from the Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut set is one of my favorite pieces because there's so many possibilities. The triangle can be used in the following patterns: alphabet soup, sweet tooth, rock candy, sprinkles, candy dish, gazebo, cookie cutter, glazed donuts, and park bench. In some of the patterns, the triangle is as you see it, pointing straight up. In some of them, it's pointing straight down. It also sometimes points to the left or to the right. So make note of which pattern you're using and which direction triangles you need before you begin your fussy cutting so that you maximize your fussy cutting of your fabric designs. The triangle shape has crosshairs in the center that mark exactly the center of the triangle. Then this gray outline shows me exactly where my seam allowance is. So everything I see in the center of my triangle is exactly what I'm going to end up with in my finished piece. There's so many possibilities in this fabric. This is Tula Pink's Tiny Beast, and these squirrels are super adorable. I could fussy cut a squirrel. I could fussy cut the nuts that are here. So I'm going to move over to this corner where I've already begun to do some fussy cutting. And fussy cutting does give you a little bit of a Swiss cheese look to your fabric, and that's okay. There's still so many possibilities of things we can do. So I think I'm going to cut these tiny little nuts over here. So I'm going to line them up in the center. You don't have to center them, that's optional, but I'm going to use my crosshairs to get them lined up. And now I am right-handed, so I'm going to cut as much as I'm comfortable with my right hand. And since I'm close to another piece, I am going to cut off into here. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to cut that part, and this part. So I'm cutting 3 of my pieces. Still have my 2 long sides and 1 more short side. And you never want to cut towards yourself. Rotary cutter safety is very important. So what I'm going to do, if you have a rotating mat, you could use that here. I'm simply going to rotate my piece around. And I'm going to make sure that it is aligned back up. If it slides, just line it back up on the edges that are already cut. And continue to cut. So now I'm going to do this side and this blunt corner. I'm going to rotate it 1 more time to do my last long straight side. So again, I'm going to line it up. And cut. So there I go. Adorable little piece. So I'll show you another example. So since that's in my seam allowance, the white, I'm not worried about it as long as I have my blue in my triangle. I don't want to come all the way over here, but I'm okay with my selvage being in my seam allowance if that's going to give me the best shape. You can also note that I'm not really worried about grain here. 2 out of 3 of my sides are going to be biased regardless, so I am more focused on what is going to be in my shape and maximizing that and not worrying about my bias. So I'm going to pretend that I'm not near the edge here, and I'm going to show you how you cut when you don't want to cut off of the edge. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm comfortable cutting across the top, but I don't want to cut towards myself. So now I have those cut, so I'm going to spin this around. I'm going to flip the fabric, the excess fabric out of the way. I'm going to line this back up underneath my cut edges. Patience and taking your time with fussy cutting really does pay off. This is not the kind of thing to rush. So make sure it's lined up, cut, cut, and cut. Oh. Sometimes that happens, especially when I'm recording. One little thread got missed there. So there we go. Tiny little squirrel. So I'll give you another example. So here I have these cute little raccoons hanging out with trash cans. And since the triangle is a smaller shape, I can't necessarily include all of an animal depending on how it's been drawn. But if I just have the head, I could. Or in this case, almost all of it. Lose the tail. But that I can show more than here. But that's okay. You might just be okay showing the body and the head. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. So I'm going to line that up. And take my rotary cutter. I did put a fresh blade in before starting my cutting. It can be especially helpful when doing fussy cutting because you don't want to get snags, which you can get if you don't have a fresh blade. So again, I'm going to turn that around. Flip this up to see where I've already cut. And line my triangle back up. Flip my fabric back over and finish cutting it out. And there we go. So now I have all these little triangles and I can continue cutting for whatever project I'm working on. And you can note the direction of your pattern will determine how you want to cut your triangle. You may have a pattern that you want them like this. You may have a pattern where you want them this way, pointed up. So follow your pattern for that. Triangles cut from the Jaybird Quilt's Fussy Cut triangle have 3 blunt corners. Typically, triangles that are rotary cut from strips will have 1 blunt corner and 2 sharp points. Having 3 blunt corners can really help with alignment. For example, if I'm going to sew a triangle onto my hexagon and I have 2 sharp points, I don't know exactly where along here to put it. I could fold them both in half, find the centers. I could eyeball it and hope that I'm right. But if I have 2 blunt corners, I know exactly where to line it up. Additionally, the triangle can be used to cut the sharp points off of existing triangles. Simply line it up like this and trim. Turn it around and trim. Now I can easily piece this to my hexagon and know exactly where it's going to go, so I can sew that seam perfectly. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If this video was helpful for you, please like it, leave a comment below, and subscribe to this channel. Your support makes a big difference in letting me know what kind of content you enjoy here on my YouTube channel and what types of products and quilt patterns to offer. Join me for my upcoming sew-alongs, where I'll guide you through making a fussy cut rock candy table topper and the letters, numbers, and projects from the Alphabet Soup book using these fussy cut shapes. You can sign up for the new sew-alongs at the same link below, where you can request the PDF fussy cut shape directions. See you soon!